Hi everyone, this is John Beck, the instructor for CD584. Um, I'm creating a screencast to explain the game-based assessment system. There's a lot of nuances that I intended but were not clearly communicated, so that's my fault. So this is my second attempt at really trying to communicate through a different medium. Um, this is about the fifth time I'm recording this, so hopefully I'll get more efficient and do this within hopefully about a 10-minute period. Okay, so quickly, three types of points. There are skill points, there are achievement points, and then experience points and achievement points. Skill points are skills, small tasks that you earn, and when you have completed them, you've earned the 5 points, and then you can't earn those skill points. Those are just really kind of a checklist to say, all right, that tells you that you know this particular skill, and you can complete it when asked. It's kind of a basic skills test. Um, and the first set of uh, skills, first set of skills in Module 1 are primarily based on online learning, and then they progress. 2 and 3 are more about data collection, and then scholarly writing, and then obviously in 4 and 5, there aren't too many. I don't want you to really be learning skills, I want you to be just practicing. And that leads me to the second type of points, experience points. Another way to talk about them are practice points. This is where there was a lot of confusion, and definitely I wasn't explaining what I meant about how to do this stuff, and maybe I wasn't also clear in my mind what I wanted here. So I want to take the experience points of post to discussion board. So yes, you earn 5 points for having done it once, which is fine. So you did this, fine. You get maybe 10 points. You started one, you applied to one, fine. Well, obviously, I don't want to. You should get points for all of the times you post. So in some sense, these are kind of practice points. So for every time you post, literally you get 10 points. Um, so what I did here, a lot of you use this column D for calculating your score. So what I did is spreadsheet. Why don't we use equations? So I said, well, let's say I'm in module 1 and I posted 10 times to module 1 to a discussion board. Well, I have 10 times, and then for each time I get 10 points. So what I did was I just calculated a formula of C, column C and E to get 100 points. And so there are people who really only posted like 3 times, and some people posted like 30 times. And so you kind of you get a gauge of how much you're posting and how active you are. For the most part, I'm not going to go back in and count every single one. If you're off by one or two, in the end, it's not going to matter too much in the scoring. But you should get a sense, and I want you to kind of get a sense of how much you're posting, and I think this is an important piece of the work of a discussion board. Um, let's see. But if there's a big discrepancy on the discussion board posts, like I'm reading everything, so um, if there's something where there's a lot of discrepancy, like you say, all right, I earned like 500 points, well, I'm pretty much going to know that, and I'll go back in and check. So I'm going to rely on you, and I'll kind of be the kind of just reality check on those kinds of things. Um, Everybody earned 100 points for creating a virtual presentation in Module 1, which is great. And just a little tip here, I said beyond assignments, create screencasts to help others learn new skills. So every time you create a virtual presentation that's relevant to the course, um, you'll be able to earn 100 points. So let's say you really wanted to use the screencast medium to maybe help explain a particular skill that might be confusing, like I'm doing here with the game-based assessment, you can earn another 100 points. And so it's something that I want to encourage, but you don't have to. And if you only do just the ones that are assigned in the course, you'll get about 500 points, which is a pretty good amount of points. Um, and cite an article that supports your argument. So this is something where, again, I create experience points tasks because it's something that I want you to practice a lot of, and I want to promote. The more you do it, the more experience points you get, and more practice you get. So practice makes perfect. And so one of the things is citing an article that supports your art. Some of you cite a lot of things in your discussion posts. You'll obviously be doing a lot of that in your literature review. And so the more you cite, the more you get. Obviously, you don't want to be citing indiscriminately, and that's something where I will start to push back on things. But in general, I don't see anybody doing it, inappropriately. So that's really good. And for a particular discussion post, you might earn 200 points for something like that, just for one post, on top of the 10 that you get for discussion posts. So you're starting to rack up a lot of practice, and so a lot of learning is just doing a lot of things. And so you just got to keep. Those of you who are not as engaged are not going to earn as many points, and ultimately you're not getting as much out of the course as you could. Obviously, if you look at the kind of final scores, quote, I am air quoting there. Um, so we're in the thousands. You're gonna have to earn thousands of points to get to grade level grade. So mainly that's because I designed it so that a key task of this course is to design a prototype, collect data about how people react to it, and then make a change based on the data that you collect. That's a pretty, big kind of skill. It's kind of, and we'll build up to that, obviously, and we'll practice that. So every time you do it, and that's what I would call cycle of data collection and redesign. And and there will be really two primary opportunities to do that. One would be in module 2, and so you might go through 3 cycles. I designed this study to do 3 cycles, and you can get 3,000 points there. And then the final project, you can get 8,000 points, or 5,000 points, and that would give you about 8,000 points total. And so that puts you right in the range of a B, right, just by doing the assignments. So the idea is that the final score is really not, the idea is not to, it will not be your determining score. I probably shouldn't put A, B, C, but it just gives you a certain level of how, if you just do the basic assignment, you should pretty much get a B, maybe even an A. And then I want to push people to go beyond a little bit, just to that's what I expect out of an A. Achievement points are kind of the final points. These are, and I probably should rescore these, but for lack of a time right now, I will leave them the way they are. So achievements are things that wrap a lot of the skills and knowledge together. So for the entry spaces assignment, there's an achievement because you've taken a lot of the skills you learned in the online learning piece of things, the skills that you learned, as well as some of the knowledge that you learned from the readings and the discussions, and you put all those things together and you get an achievement. So you get 25 points for that. And each of the assignments are designed like that. They're to really wrap a lot of the things that you do within the module and based on previous modules. And so that's kind of where you do that. And so you kind of get some points for that. This multiplier thing, I probably would take it out if I could at this point. Maybe I will. So the idea here is that, if you just did the course, that would be fine. It's not a perfect course. It's not comprehensive. And if you thought that was the body of knowledge in this particular topic, then that would. I hope you don't leave the course with that. So the idea is that I want you to push beyond, the ideas. Take the ideas that you learn and you're learning about, and explore the world and try out different ideas, or try to see how those ideas compare with what you find and explore out in the world. And so when I see those kinds of things, those kinds of ideas that are beyond not only the course but what I've seen, and I haven't seen everything, which is great. And you're starting to teach me. Um, I'm going to start to, particularly around the achievements, um, then I'm going to give you bonus points. So for a lot of you, I'm going to give you bonus points for um, all of the entry spaces. I don't think there was a single one that I had been to before that I hadn't studied that someone else hasn't done before. So that's really cool. You all get that. I've never, if there's an idea there that I never really heard about, that might be, or you tried something new. So I want to give credit to those who um, do something that really challenges, you really try to build those things out. And like I said, these achievement points with the multiplier, it's not going to be that many points. So, okay, so, whew, it's very fast. And what I want you to do, and so obviously this is something I would need to score for you. Um, and then, but in the meantime, what I want you to do is put your total score for the module of your self-assessment on one of these levels here. Just tally it up, figure out what level you're at, um, and then that way you get some sense of leveling of achievement. So early on it's going to be kind of slow, and then obviously in the next couple modules you'll be like jumping up quite a bit. So that's kind of the progression of learning that I also think is kind of natural in this course, having taught this about 3 times. So, I know that's a lot. Hopefully that fills in a little bit of the gaps about kind of how I designed the system and probably why you need to rewrite some of the instructions. Um, and if you have any questions, please email me or post it to this discussion board and I'll reply to that. Thanks, and we'll keep on going. Thanks for participating.